All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening to me. My name is Dr. Johnson Adegoke. I promised my students during our last mentorship class that I'm going to do this video and share so they can learn from this. The topic before me today is goal setting. And like I said during our class, setting goal is just like preparing for a journey. And every man, every individual that wants to achieve or attain success in life must set goals, to guide the journey to the success. So, what are we looking at today? We're looking at understanding what success means, and then how to set clear, realistic, and purposeful goals as students and as individuals. Also, we need to see or will see how to break goals into actionable steps and practice, intentional and consistent way of achieving these goals, or achieving these goals with intentionality and being consistent in taking those actionable steps. So, uh, if I may ask, have you ever, imagined or sometimes struggled to follow through goals set that you set for a particular task or an achievement? And then why do you think many people start strong but they don't finish? That's a very strong question. But one thing I like to say is that success is not accidental. It is designed and worked for, and in fact sustained. So if you want to achieve success, you have to design it by setting goals. You have to work for it, that is taking actionable steps, and then you have to sustain the steps. That's consistency. And today I'm going to be explaining those three major pillars to actualizing success. And which number one is goal setting, number two is taking actionable and intentional steps, and number three is consistency. So now, first, let's drill ourselves. What do you understand by success? Now, success means different things to different people. What success is to you is may not be what it is to me. To some people, success may be academic excellence. To some people, maybe career excellence or clarity. To some people, success is personal growth. While to some people, success is having financial stability or emotional balance. Now, I would want you, to write down as you continue in this video exactly what success means to you, so that you can channel what you learn from this video towards achieving success in your own way. And one thing I need you to know is that you cannot pursue what you have not clearly defined. So you cannot pursue success when you've not clearly defined how to go about it, or set clear goals on how to achieve success. So now, what is the foundation or foundation of success? Goal setting, I will say, is the foundation of success. Goal setting is the foundation of success. For every man, I've said this before, for every man who wants to achieve success in life, you don't joke with setting goals. You don't joke with goal settings. Now, why do we need to set goals? Why do we need to set goals? Why not just take up steps, just start doing things and then expect results? Number one, when we set goals, it helps to give us focus. It helps to guide us. It helps to put us on a track and check if we're still on track. So goal setting is very important. It also guides our decisions. So if I had set a goal to do something, this setting or this goal setting would help to guide my decision. What are the things I need to do? What are the things I don't need to do, to actualize these goals? It also helps to reduce distraction. When you set goals, you know where you're going. You already understand your path, your pathway. You understand what you want to achieve, and it will be foolishness to set a goal to achieve A and work towards something else. So when you set a goal or goals when you set a goal to achieve something, it helps you to reduce distractions. There are things that are not necessary. There are things that should not, there are luggages and baggages that you do not need for that journey. And when those luggages, when those distractions, when they come around, it helps you to say, no, this is not what I want to achieve, and this is not in line with how to achieve the intended goal. So yes, it helps to reduce distraction. And again, lastly, it increase our motivation. When you set goal and you're moving towards actualizing that goal, it has a way of increasing your motivation. You are motivated. There's this inner joy. There's something in psychology we call intrinsic motivation. This joy just come from within, not because something or someone outside had promised you something, or there's something you are looking for. Oh, they'll give me a card, they'll give me I'll get this benefit or so on. But because of the inner joy that you are achieving something, or you have something you intend to achieve, or you're working towards achieving. So this goal setting helps to increase your motivation. Now, I would also like to highlight type of goals, for you, for better understanding. Of course, we have different types of goals, ranging from what we call the short-term goal, that is the things you want to achieve on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or monthly. And then we have the long-term goals, that is maybe a year of future plan. Maybe you're concluding your secondary school, and then you're already setting goals for university, or post university or post secondary school. This is a long these are long-term goals. Now, of course, aside these two categories, we also have the academic goal and then the personal or life goals. You can set academic goals. So in my subject, in this subject, this is what I want to achieve in this area. This is okay. This was my grade last year, or last term, or last session. But this session, this is what I want to achieve. And then another one is the personal and life goals. Now, beyond your academic goals, beyond the goals you've set on different subjects or so, you also need to set personal goals. Now, in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, what do I want to achieve? What do I intend to achieve? Of course, maybe you're in secondary school now. After secondary school, what next? After university, what next? Have a projection. What do you want to achieve? I recall when I finished my first degree, just awaiting or waiting for my convocation. I remember that year, I wrote something somewhere, and then I wrote and I told myself, in the next 5 years I want to have my PhD. I think that was 2011. Yes, 2011. I was preparing for my service, and then I wrote somewhere, I said, in the next 5 years I want to have my PhD. That is setting a goal for myself. And then, do you know what? Yes, I didn't achieve that goal at exactly 5 years, but at that 5 years I was actually in the midst of the program. I was running the program, and then I was in it already. Now, why was this happen? Because I was able to set the goal ahead. this is what I want to be, this is what I want to achieve in the next, 5 years. I had thrown the goal ahead, and then I started working towards, and that kept reminding me, oh, this is what you said you want to do. So immediately I came back from service. I had to go for my masters. After the masters, because I know, I knew where I was going, so I had to enroll again and then move further, and it helped me. And today, of course, that's the story now. And that happened because I had to set the goal ahead. And now, what are the practical guide or practical steps uh, uh, or to setting goal? Number one is that your goal must be clear. It mustn't be vague or ambiguous. It must be clear. You must know what you want to set or what you want to achieve. It must be clear, readable, and understandable to you and to anybody reading the goal. And then number two is that you must be realistic. You must be realistic. Yeah, there are some things that are not realistic. Of course, maybe you're in secondary school, maybe SS1 for example, and then you're telling yourself in the next 1 year or 2 years you want to be in the university, you want to graduate. Some things are just not realistic. So you must set goals that are realistic. And then again, one thing you also need to know or note is that your goal must be time bound. You must attach a time. You notice that every exam, all the examples I'm giving since I started this video, they are with time. So it's either I'm telling you 1 month, one term, one academic session, 1 year, 5 years. So that is the time, and that is to guide me to tell. So anytime you are close to the time, you assess yourself and you evaluate yourself. How far have I gone? How long have I gone? Will I still achieve? Do I need to change strategy? Do I need to adjust something? Am I still on track? So the time will guide you on what to do at that particular time. And then another one, lastly, is the goal must be personally meaningful to you. It must be meaningful. And so that's why you don't copy goals. You don't just go out anywhere to copy goals and say, my friend, or I heard somewhere that somebody wants to achieve something, and then you go and copy it. The goal must be meaningful to you. The goal must be meaningful to you. Now, what do you understand by actionable steps? So we've talked about goal setting. Now, after setting goal, you don't set goals and hide them under the table or keep them in the shelf. So you take actionable steps to see that you actualize that goal. Now, what do you understand by taking actionable steps? That is, you're breaking your big goal. The first thing is breaking your big goals into small and doable tasks. That is, what are the things you need to do little by little to ensure you achieve or you actualize that goal? What are the steps you need to take? What are the roads you need to follow? Who are the people you need to move with? Who are the connection? What are the connection, the network you need to, you need to get, for this goal to be actualized? So that is very important. Breaking these goals into small, doable, and actionable steps. And then number two is focusing on what can be done daily or weekly. Focusing on what can be done daily or weekly. Now, when you're taking actionable steps, it's not something you just do, stop for a while, and then after a long time you remember that you set goal, and then you come back again and all of that. You cannot achieve goals in such a way. Now you must break into steps that will help you to focus on what you can do on a daily basis, on a weekly, on a monthly. And I recommend that you write these down. Don't just have them on your head. Oh, okay, I set goals and this is what I want to achieve, and then okay, these are the steps. You have them on your head. No, it doesn't work that way. ensure you put down your goal, you write down your goal, and then ensure that you write down the steps, the actionable steps that you are going to take to actualize these goals. And let me give you an example of actionable steps. So for example, a student sets goal to improve academic performance, uh, to improve his or her academic performance. Now, what are the steps to take? Actionable steps. Number one is maybe you write down somewhere you have to study for 1 hour daily. That is step one. Study 1 hour daily. Step two, I will attend all my classes without missing any. Step two. Number three, I will ask questions anytime I do not understand, or on any topic or lessons that I do not understand. I would ask questions. Or even when I'm reading or trying to study, doing personal study, I would have something where maybe a jotter and a pen, where I will write down questions on areas that are challenging for me, so I can ask my teachers, my tutor, or anybody around me to help me. And then again, I'll review my notes weekly. I'll review my notes weekly. I will go through my notes. I will check what are the things I've learned this week. What are the things I really understand. What are the things I don't understand? What are the things I understand? And all of that. So to me, these are steps. Actionable steps. A student whose goal is to improve his academic performance should have. I'm just giving you this as an example, and then you can follow or write out your own steps also. But one thing I want to advise or recommend is that please start small. Start small. But you know what? Start now. You can start small, but the most important thing is that you start now and you keep moving. Start small, start now, and keep moving. That's it. That's the goal. That's the word. So, and the third one, remember, I said I'm going to talk about goal setting, taking intentional step, and then consistency. But before I go into consistency, being consistent, you need to understand what intentionality means. That is, because if you are not intentional, it is difficult to be consistent. It is difficult to take or to follow actionable steps. Now, what does intentionality means? That is doing things deliberately, not just by chance, not when you have time, not when you think or feel like doing things, or taking those steps, those actionable steps deliberately. Now, also, it may also mean making choices that aligns with your goal. Making choices that aligns with your goal. Now, every day you are either building your future or delaying it. If you are not intentional, then you are delaying your future. But if you are intentional, you're building your future. And number three, now we'll go into the last part of this video, which is consistency. Now, consistency is the secret weapon of success. I was speaking somewhere, some time ago, and then I made this very strong point. Consistency is the secret weapon of success. That is, doing the right things repeatedly, even when motivation is low. Doing the right thing repeatedly, even when motivation is low, even when you don't feel like, even when situation around does not encourage you, but you continuing to in doing the right thing, or taking those steps and following those steps to actualize your set goal. And now the truth about consistency is that, number one, in consistency, I must tell you, motivation is not permanent. motivation is temporary. What does that mean? You won't always be motivated. You won't always, there are times you'll be discouraged. There are times things around you will not motivate you or encourage you, to do this thing or to follow through, to take those steps, to be consistent. No, there are times that, situations around you would not want to help, but you need to have it in mind that either you're motivated or not, you must and you need to be consistent. Then number two, another truth is that discipline and consistency produce results. Discipline and consistency produce results. You have to be disciplined. You have to tell yourself either it works or it doesn't work. Either I'm motivated, I'm not motivated, there's time, there's no, I need to work this thing out. So I have to be, you have to be disciplined. So discipline goes side by side with consistency, to produce results. And then again, small actions done daily beats big action done occasionally. When you take small step by step, little by little actions daily, it builds more and it leads to massive growth over time. And it's also better than big actions that you take once in a while or occasionally. Now, 1% improvement every day, I tell you, will lead to massive growth over time. Like I said earlier, what you need is to be consistent. And in anything, this works in anything, in everything, anything you do in life, either in academic, in personal, in work, space, in career development, learning, any environment. When you take that 1% improvement every day, it leads to massive growth over time. And then, what are the challenges that you would need to address when you're talking about consistency? Number one is laziness. You need to fight laziness. You need to fight discouragement. You need to fight fear of failure. And then you need to fight comparing yourself with others. I repeat, number one, laziness. Number two, discouragement. Number three, fear of failure. And comparing yourself with others. Now, you cannot or you do not compare yourself with others. Why? Because the goals they had set is different from yours. The goals they've set is different from yours. The steps they had proposed to take is different from yours. So, no comparison with others. So, I encourage you, consistency is not perfection. I need to say, consistency, when you're consistent, it doesn't mean you're perfect. It is just the commitment that you require to achieve your set goals. Now, what are the practical commitments, steps that you can, you can write down? Number one, take one clear goal at a time. One clear goal at a time. Take 3 actionable steps. Cultivate the habit of practicing consistently and avert distraction. Avert distraction. Now, in conclusion, and my closing message. Number one, we have learned that it is good and it is important to set goals. So setting goal is key and very important to actualize and to achieve success. So, my dear, keep setting goals to achieve more success. And then, number 2, act intentionally. Number 3, stay consistent. And then you see that success will follow. Why? Because you don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your systems and consistency. I repeat that. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your systems and consistency. So show me your success over time, and I will show you the level of your consistency. So I'll see you guys in the next class. I'll see you in the next uh, workshop, in the next class, in our academic and life skill mentorship class. Till then, I remain Dr. Johnson Adigoke. They call me Dr. J. Thank you and see you. Bye.